Hello everybody and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. Pokemaster Andrew here, and today I'll be introducing you to the warp/crimson fungi automatic AFK farm. And really, if you need like crimson planks or warp planks or any of that like new nether stuff, then this is the video for you, because I'll be showing you exactly how to construct this newly added into Minecraft farm. There's many videos out there that show you these really big contraptions that are a lot harder to build and more expensive. I'll just show you this really cheap and easy one that pretty much anyone can build in a matter of minutes. And if that sounds good to you, then let's get right into it. As you can see, like always, down here is the miracle chest that contains everything we need. If you look in here, it is actually pretty cheap. You will need some observers and like redstone utility blocks. That can get quite expensive. But like I said in the intro, there are lots of videos that show you how to make these really more complicated ones. And I just want to show you a very simple one you can build within minutes, and that will give you, I mean, if you need lots and lots of like crimson fungi or something like that, this farm isn't for you. But if you want you just need a couple stacks for your build, this will work perfectly fine. It's not the most efficient in the world, but it is like, no one needs more than you get with this. Okay, so let's get right into the materials. You will need a stack of cobblestone or just any block you want. It doesn't have to be exactly a stack, but in any build really, just go grab yourself a couple stacks of blocks, because they are always useful when you're building or when you're making a farm, because you'll need to kind of like maneuver around and be able to construct in different spots. And it can be useful having blocks just to scaffold around or use scaffolds. But you will need in this one a couple blocks for the build itself. So keep in mind, you will need cobblestone or just any block you want. You will need a hopper, 2 redstone dust. You heard that correctly. My last farm needed 1. This one needs 2, but it doesn't really run off of redstone. That's kind of like, it's not, I say you should use this, but you don't need it. I mean, it's really important, but it's not needed to make the farm work. 2 chests, 2 sticky pistons, 4 observers, a crimson nylium or a warp nylium. I'm gonna go with crimson. I'll explain that later in the video, why crimson is better than nylium when it comes to farming. You'll need a lever, a minecart with hopper, some bone meal. Obviously this runs off of bone meal, which means it's kind of self-explanatory that you will need a certain amount of bone meal for this farm. And really, I've gotta say, you should have a skeleton grinder or a skeleton farm nearby so that you can supply it with enough bone meal. But obviously you'll need some glass. You don't need it, okay? You could want. For this tutorial, I'm gonna use some glass just so that you can see what's going on inside of the farm. You can do that too if you want, but if you just have like blocks, just use your blocks you have here. That works just fine. And if you want to go the extra mile and be even more efficient than it already is, go ahead and get yourself another minecart with hopper. It makes the whole thing go a tiny bit more faster. You will need a rail. This is 100% necessary. You need the rail. You will also need the dispenser that I forgot to add in the last recording. I had to start the recording all over. But yeah, that's all you need. You can go ahead and, if you want warp nylium, use that. I'd say since you get warped fungi with the crimson nylium anyway, and this is a little bit not as efficient, I just go with crimson nylium, I would say. But if you want lots and lots of warped fungi, go ahead and use that. I can't stop you. I'm not your dad. But yeah, let's just get right into the building. Alright, so to get started, find yourself a nice and flat area like so. I'm just in the mountains. You can do it in the desert, although I don't really like building in the desert because sand obviously has gravity and can kind of like get annoying. But just go ahead and find yourself a flat area and place I always say place yourself. Is that even something you can do? Place yourself a block here? I don't think that's a word, a sentence, but whatever. Place a block. This is temporary. Just place that right there. And then connecting to it an observer that has the red dot facing towards you. Then you can go ahead and break this temporary block and place another observer there. Now, I will say this is just a proof of concept. I like to have this one broken before, like, I don't immediately place it. But the reason for that being is just because that would immediately start a clock, meaning the piston, the sticky piston you place in the front of it will start, you know, being activated, meaning we don't want that. So we just go ahead and break the observer. All right, so I just realized I had the game sound off the whole time, meaning you didn't hear annoying piston sounds. It isn't really a bad thing, but I'm just gonna turn it on just so you can like know that this is not like a ripoff of Minecraft or something. So when you have it placed like so, let's just pretend. Just put a observer here if you want, but it will kind of annoy when you're building. So go ahead and go to your little sticky piston you've placed right here. One space, and then place a nylium there so that there's a 1 block gap between them. And obviously this can be warped or crimson, doesn't really matter. Okay, so once you have your nylium placed, your nylium of choice, again, use crimson, give me a favor, that'll make the farm a lot more efficient. But go ahead and place your dispenser facing into the block so that there's not like a face on outside. It has to face right into your nylium. And on the other side, place another temporary block here and do what you did over there. Place an observer, the red dot facing outwards, and place an observer right here. Won't do that because as you can see, it is activating the dispenser. We don't want that right now. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but we're just gonna go and replace that after we're done building the farm. Now we have it like so, and this is pretty much the basis of how the farm works. This one is harvesting the crop or the fungi, and here it is being bone mealed. And now we just need a collection system. And how it works is we have to place one of your block of choice, the one you chose, probably cobblestone because it's easy, or you can also use dirt. Doesn't really matter as long as it's not like, I don't know, glass or something, or just anything that's kind of not a full block. So place that right here so that it's kind of like a, I don't know exactly, to the right. Like place it to the right of your nylium, and then you're gonna want to build kind of dig a hole about 4 deep, I'd say, like 1 2 3 4. Is that 4? No, that's 3. One more. It doesn't really matter depending on how deep how big you want your storage system to be. That's how deep you want your hole. And if you want lots and lots of fungi, this is not really the farm for you because it's not the most efficient. With the amount of bone meal you use in this farm, you could get a lot more if you just build a little bit more complicated. But since we're here to make it as simple and cheap, the bone meal is the most expensive part. If you were to build someone else's design, I'll leave some more, like if you're here for a farm that can be really sustainable and you know you can use it for a long, or you can use this for a long time, but that you get like lots and lots out of. I'll leave a link below to a tutorial on how to do that. There's some videos out there. I'll just link a couple and you can go check those out as well. But if you're here just for something simple, then this is exactly what you want. You're gonna dig a hole that is 4 deep. The width doesn't really matter. I just did it like this just because then it's easier to maneuver through. But then you can have you have this like so. I'm just gonna mark that with some cobblestone. You don't have to do that, but this is kind of where we have our little, I don't know, just something. I don't know how to explain it, but right here you have like your nylium. And this is kind of like it's making sure that our hopper minecart does not fling out and like kind of stop the farm from working. So we're gonna go to the nylium, and one down is that, skip that block and place a hopper right like so. That is actually wrong. You want it to be facing into the bottom block like so. That one before, that was a mistake. It has to be facing like that. You can get yourself your chests and kind of, you know, build them like so. Then you can also obviously continue it and make it even more, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it like this. Now break that block, and what will happen now is in there we will have to put our hopper minecart, which we can do right now. But to do that, we need to actually take our 2 other observers, actually no, one of those, and place it facing into our our sticky piston, and that way it is kind of like doing that. Then go ahead and scaffold up, like I said, very important part. Scaffold up. Place your rail. It has to be right above the nylon block, where the nylon block originally was, and like kind of where the hopper is. Place your rail like so. That is kind of like as if you're looking at like a railway from the side, like so, so that when we place our minecart with hopper on top, it is facing like kind of on the sideways to you. Break the block under it. It will kind of fall in there, and then you will have it like so. That was actually wrong. So we'll have to break that. That actually is not correct. We want it to be facing. I don't know why that happened, but it has to be facing like this. Actually, what is going on? Oh yeah, whatever. Just keep it like that. It doesn't really matter as long as it does not fall out. That is the most important part. I'm gonna go ahead and say that for some reason my way of doing it isn't working. I don't know why, but it just isn't allowed to fling out of our collection chamber. If you want now, if you really need it and you want the most efficient you can get out of this farm, take your second hopper minecart, break it again like so, and it will fling on top of it like this, and that way you have one kind of stuck in the block. And if you have the issue that I have, and they're facing towards you, which is not supposed to happen, go ahead and cover them so that they can't fly out. But otherwise, if you somehow manage to not do it like that, just go ahead and keep it like that. It won't really matter. Now the farm is pretty much done. You can go ahead and either take normal blocks or take glass. I'm gonna take glass so that you can see what is happening. Go ahead and cover it like so. Just do it how I did it. Can't really explain it. Kind of like a mini pyramid. That way, the drops won't fall out. I put 2 to make it as efficient as possible, but you can just take 1 hopper minecart if you want. Now we can already go ahead and activate this one right here. And this is pretty much the part, if you just want a little bit, like if you don't want this to kind of be a sustainable farm, you just want it for like a one-time go, you can go ahead, as you can see it is working. You can go ahead and stop here. As you can see, things are starting to collect slowly down right here. But you can go ahead and stop here, and this is the finished farm. But if you want to use this over long periods of time, because you need lots of them, and I mean, this farm is enough, really. I don't think anyone needs more than what you get out of here. I mean, look, you already have 5 crimson fungus. That's already quite a bit. I mean, I personally would never need more than like 10. But I mean, other people like build huge things or something. I don't even know. But you could go ahead and do whatever you want. And there's one last thing I want to cover and show you how to build, and that is a system to toggle it on and off. I will warn you, I am not a redstone expert, far from it. I'm actually pretty bad at redstone. So if you are a redstone expert, comment down below an easier and more efficient and cheaper way to do this part, and I will maybe make an updated video, because this is kinda, I've gotta say, I don't know, it might be overcomplicating things, but we'll see. I'll just show. Alright, so I went ahead already and deactivated it by breaking the observers. That's not ideal though, to have to break the observers every single time to you know, deactivate the farm is kind of annoying. That's why I'm going to introduce a redstone system that can easily make a toggle on and toggle off switch. And I'm not a redstone expert, actually far from it. I'm actually pretty bad at redstone. But this works, and this worked for me, so it will work for you. And if you are a redstone expert, first of all, comment down below like that you're good, because then you can maybe hit me up or something, and then we can improve the farm, or just immediately comment down some improvements that we can use for this redstone system that will make it a lot cheaper and easier. And do that. That'll be a lot of help to me. I might make an updated video then, and you will be shouted out. So go ahead and do that if you want, if you're good at redstone. And let's just start with the system that I came up with, and it works like so. You place your last, oops, that was not supposed to happen. You don't break the observer. That was a mistake. You have the observer like so. Then you place your sticky piston facing into the observer that is supposed to be activating the dispenser. And what we can then do is, obviously, we can make a system that can use, with one switch, deactivate this one and deactivate this one. Because if this is pushing the observer away from the other observer, we obviously don't have our clock anymore, and that will then break the farm. In this case, though, just deactivate it. Now, next to that sticky piston, you place one block. Skip a space, and then right next to this piston right here, you have this sticky piston right here, break one block. Then you can place your 2 redstone like so. Then obviously it is already done, because now we just need to break a little hole down here, and you have your switch that turns it on and off. Obviously it won't work yet because we don't have our pistons around here, but we can actually go ahead and fix it now. So to do this, we go ahead and just place our last observers, the ones that we broke to break. Yeah, and now we can just flip the switch, and it will work perfectly. Only thing is, I don't have a bone meal in there. You can go ahead and grab your own bone meal again, do whatever you like with it, and now it will work. And let's just say, oh my gosh, I don't want to waste any more bone meal on this anymore. Deactivate it using that switch. And see, this redstone system, it works. It's relatively cheap. If you have a better one, like I said before, comment down below. Alright guys, so that was the farm. I hope you enjoyed. Most of all though, I hope you learned a whole lot in this tutorial. And really, I'm uploading lots and lots of these tutorials, and my channel is focusing right now on giving you the simplest and easiest to follow tutorials to make easy and simple farms. And if that sounds like something you want to like stick into and learn a lot about, and maybe if you're like in a survival server or something like that, need lots of farms and automation kind of mechanisms, then this is the channel for you. And I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and maybe comment down below the flaws on this farm, maybe something that troubles you about this farm, like in every video. I always say that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I hope this farm works for you. I'll see you in the next video.